And one more topic I wanted to talk about that I kind of missed, but I'm very excited for the Bad Batch show. A lot of people are saying it's going to be Clone Wars 2.0. I think the thing I'm most excited for is just the era it's taking place in. We've seen stuff like, Rogue One between episodes 3 and 4, but if anything, Rogue One is, episode 3.99. I mean, it goes right up
Right.
to the beginning of episode 4, but I'm really excited to see this era between 3 and 4 where the Empire is kind of coming up from the Republic, and I mean, so much is going on then. I mean, we really don't see too much of Darth Vader. I know there's the Vader Immortal, and like he has his comics. There's the game, but not this. It hasn't really been expanded on in a TV show or movie. So I don't know. What are you
Yeah.
excited for it at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Bad Batch was definitely cool in Clone Wars. cr- do you know if the Bad Batch have the microchips in their heads? Um, I
I
don't know if
th-
that's ever been answered. But if not, I mean, it'd be really interesting to see like how they react to Order 66 and the aftermath of Order 66. I mean, I've always wanted to see more of the clone stories explored at the aftermath of everything, because obviously they got replaced and stuff, and we see like Captain Rex in Rebels aged. So I mean, I think that story is gonna be really interesting. Bad Batch crew, very 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 good dynamic characters, especially um, especially when they were in Clone Wars. The way that they had really good chemistry with each other, all the characters. So I think I agree with you. The timeline is very interesting, but I want to see like I want to know if they had the microchip in their heads. I'm
yeah,
not
my,
sure.
my
You know.
I think I don't know, because they were mutated clones. Yeah, it's interesting, and I'm pretty curious to see where they go. I really am open for anything, and I do think just the other clones around them, just in clips from the trailer, because by the time you get to episode 3, especially in the Clone Wars, even more than episode 3, the Clone Wars kind of does a better job expanding on this. Is just the personalities the clones get, and how each legion, I mean, it's not just white armor. They paint their helmets, they get tattoos, and then you see in just the Bad Batch trailer, because you have to go from that to stormtroopers. So you do see these clone troopers and back again in their all white bland armor. So I think it really is going to just continue on, hopefully, of the, the point of view of the war from the clones, because that's what the Clone Wars did so well. Um,
Mhm.
it humanized these clones, because when if before the Clone Wars came out and you see a clone die in like episode 3, it's like whatever, it's expendable. It's essentially a stormtrooper, just slightly different armor. But now the way how the Clone Wars did such a good job at just humanizing these clones. I mean, and giving them distinct personalities, even though they're literally clones of the same person. But I know that I feel like so many people now have an emotional attachment to the clones and their story, because they are going to have to move out into the next phase, which is stormtroopers.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely just exploring more of the clone characters in general is a great way to make people feel closer to each individual character. Because like I mean, when you have all these characters like sound the same and look the same, also like I would like give a shout out to D. Bradley Baker for doing such a phenomenal job in the voice acting department. Like the way I mean, it's the same voice, but the way that he makes everyone distinct from each other while giving you the same voice is just great
It's
acting.
incredible. And on one final note to end up this episode, I have to I have to throw out a theory. I just have to put this out there in case it does happen, because if for whatever reason it does, which I highly doubt it, I would never be able to live with myself. So have you heard? I mean, I know you know of the Droid show that was announced,
Yeah, yeah.
and this theory is so dumb, but I think the description they gave was just the droids on a secret mission or something. I don't know if they told us too much. Maybe I'm wrong, but there is this big question as to how Grogu survived Order 66. And I just have to say this: what if partially the droids saved Grogu? And I only say this too. Something that just made me even think of this was in the season finale of Mando, season 2, R2 definitely recognizes Grogu because Grogu was at the Jedi Temple. So it could very well just be R2 knew Grogu, recognized him from the temple. But I just have to put this out there. If for whatever reason that is the case, which it probably isn't, I just have to
What if
be able to
R2
live with
saved
myself.
Grogu?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair question to have. I mean, also there was that one Clone Wars episode. It was just droids, with that little mini frog. I'm not remembering the general's name, but I
There's a
found
clone
that.
commando, right, in that episode?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
an
I think it was Gregor.
ex-commando. That was a
Gregor.
cool, yeah, that was
Yeah,
cool.
that I love that episode. So like, I'd be totally down for. I mean, I'm excited for the droid show, but I mean, I think the question about whether R2 saved Grogu,
Yeah.
I think it's like a fair question, but I think it's rather anticlimactic because everyone wants to know like, was it a secret Jedi? Was it Mace Windu? And then it ends up being R2D2. Like,
I know, I'd be a little disappointed as well. I know that's a whole nother black or rabbit hole to go down, Mace Windu being back. I think it's possible because if there's if anything's proven between just Maul coming back, Palpatine never really dying, it's
right,
that force sensitive users can fall from a really high height and live.
right, yeah.
So
And
yeah.
if you don't see a body, then are they truly dead? Not really. Especially in movies and shows, if you don't see that body, then never assume that they're 100% dead.
I mean, and we even saw Darth Maul. I mean, he was cut in, like literally cut in half, and
Yeah.
even that
Darth Maul can
wasn't
survive
enough.
getting cut in half and falling down a huge raft, and Mason Windu can for sure survive because he was one of the strongest Jedi's.
Yeah, I was
Um,
about to say. I mean, and to know. I mean, one of the most powerful Jedi's at the time. Also,
right.
he's on Coruscant. He could have just grabbed on one of the speeders.
Hmm.
And I mean, there's so much more we could talk about. A whole nother topic I didn't really get to mention that would probably, double the length of this episode. Be talking about the possibility of, you know, Old Republic media, movies. For more videos from M2M, check out our other playlists.